I'm going to share some of my favorite customer success reports. A lot of these aren't the out-of-the-box reports that you get with the system. They're more of a, hey, let's create a custom one because I'm noticing these certain things. So I'm going to go over them here. All right, so my favorite one is accounts with no engagement by ARR. And this is very simple. I also find this powerful as a manager. Let's look at my accounts or my CSM's accounts and see which accounts in ARR ranges have had no engagement. So this is very typical. As we all know, sometimes your lower ARR customers eat up a lot of your time and you don't spend the time on your higher ones. It can be a risk signal as well, but we're going to get into risk in a minute. But I like to see a couple easy properties here first. First, let's take a look at the engagement via your CRM. Let's look at emails that you've sent, email replies, and things. One note that I, just as a gotcha here that I've bumped into a bunch is that, let's say, for example, you wanted to get the renewal going or have an engagement conversation or schedule the QBR. And then suddenly the customers are like, hey, I'm having this issue. And then you get all into this issue. And then you're emailing back and forth. This looks like engagement. And then suddenly you wake up and you're like, oh my God, we never scheduled the QBR. Or what I've seen a lot is, oh my God, the renewal now is under 30 days and we haven't talked about upsell or expansion. So here you go. Let's just make it exactly what it was before and go from there. So these days too, I like to factor in calls. Again, I don't want to get too much into the signals with conversational intelligence and things like this. If you want to easily grab a report, emails sent or replied to, how many meetings that you've had is another way to do it. Another gotcha here, sometimes people, you have to tweak this correctly because they only want to use their Teams or their Zoom. And then if you're basing your report off of your Teams or your Zoom, it kind of messes that up a little bit. I actually remember a customer where I was working with the CSM team, and this happened with his book all the time. He had a couple really high-powered teams that were using Teams, and he would be like, "Stop yelling at me!" And he was right. So, but it would always show up in the report like, "Oh my God, you've got like, $3 million that you haven't talked to in the last 90 days." And it was like, no, that's not the case. So just be aware when you're writing these reports of that. Another quick thing is seeing if they've been logging into marketing events. Have they been going to those types of things? Are they filing support tickets, etc.? But I really like to make this really simple and put it on me. I've sent an email out to them. I have not heard back from them. I have not had a renewal conversation. You can tweak this into those conversations, but essentially what companies are paying us the most and who we haven't talked to recently. Just as a quick note as a manager, really great coaching moments come from here. Rarely is the CSM avoiding the customer. Usually they're just blown up and they're trying to respond to lots of people hitting them up for information or having a bug or trying to walk them through that. And this is a great coaching moment to say, hey, listen, this report is approval for you to talk to this person instead of that person, right? Kind of Eisenhower box. These are the customers that go in your top right. Stop focusing on the lower left. Hope that helps. I will have another one for you next week.